Many people think that growing a woodworking business simply means getting bigger tools. And yeah, I will say that is part of it. That being said though, since we've started in the woodworking space and doing commission builds, we have been running our ducting with soft hosing. Meaning, anytime we wanted to mill something, whether it be on our jointer, we would have to disconnect and connect into that. But then, going to our planer, we disconnect and connect into that. But then, going to our table saw, we disconnect and connect into that. And though it sounds small and not that big of a deal, it happens to be quite time consuming.
We talk a lot about efficiency being what separates a hobbyist shop from a production level shop. And we've spent thousands of dollars on machines that are designed to save us time while ignoring a system that has been wasting hours within our shop. So today, we're going to be fixing that by installing permanent ductwork that will connect every large machine in the hopes of creating a faster, cleaner, and overall more efficient system in the end.
As we've grown into this new shop and started taking on more commissioned work, we've realized that building furniture is only part of the equation. The systems behind the scenes matter too, and before we can make this shop more efficient, we had one small issue to take care of. When we bought our Oneida Desk Gorilla Pro, the plan was always for it to live underneath the loft, and so we measured, laid everything out, and thought we had it figured out. But it turns out we did not convey that message to the Amish builders very well, because it turns out we were just a little off, and not by much, but enough that the collector doesn't quite clear the loft the way we intended. So before any of that fancy quick connect ducting that we spend an absolute fortune on goes up, we had to shorten the legs up and get them sitting where they were supposed to be from the beginning. With the legs shortened, it was finally time to see if our plan was actually going to work. This collector isn't exactly light, so we called in a little extra help from our dad to get it moved into its position. And the idea was simple: lean the collector over, slide it underneath the edge of the loft, and then stand it back up once we had enough clearance. And thankfully, this part actually went a lot smoother than what we had intended.
Here.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I meant. Shouldn't we have figured that out first?
We did figure it out.
I cut it perfectly! Yes!
The big question now is getting this dust collection system up and running. Will it make us better woodworkers? I would say no, but one thing we have noticed is our custom build videos are our highest performing ones to date. So by doing this, we will be able to build more efficiently, make more content for you, and give us a better idea as to where the shop can go in the future.
Right? How do I spell Oneida?
I'm not sure on this, but I think it's probably Oneida.
We're just gonna look it up on their app.
Now, before we start hanging pipe, we should probably talk about where these plans came from. When we ordered the system, Oneida actually designed it for us. We sent them the dimensions of our shop, the machines we have, and where everything was located, and their engineering team put together a complete layout. For us, that was money well spent, and at the end of the day, we're woodworkers, we're builders, we're not dust collection engineers. We wanted a system that would perform the way it was supposed to without spending thousands of dollars on extra fittings we didn't need, or worse yet, finding out halfway through installation that we missed something very important. Now that doesn't mean everything was perfect, and as we started putting the system together, we found a few areas we'd probably do different. In fact, one section is going to have to be modified because it hangs lower than we'd like to in our shop. But honestly, that's just part of building everything. Plans look one way in paper, and sometimes another way when they're hanging over your head in a real shop. Thankfully, we had a good starting point, and now it was time to see how those plans translated from a rendering into reality.
I mean, come on, let them see me. They want to see the star. Come on me.
I'm getting flashbacks to a ceiling fan, Logan. Hurry up.
Move!
Oh. To those of you who don't know, back whenever we were remodeling our grandfather's house after he passed, we could not wire a ceiling fan to save our lives. And by we, I mean this guy right here. And it left me holding it for about 2 hours worth of wiring, taking it down, rewiring, taking it down. And that just on repeat, like I'm doing right now, because he's just standing there.
Are you done? Lunch.
Oh my God. I did shoulders yesterday, Logan.
What? Okay. I was like, what the f*** did I hit?
That was scary as shit.
Getting it?
Yeah, that, told you it's gonna tilt. We're gonna have to get a fucking ladder or some blocking.
Technically, you could probably go ahead and do a support here if you wanted. Like, all right. It could happen, yeah. That could happen, but it's up. So you'd cut it wherever you need, then this guy will get its own clamp. That's what this O-ring is for. And then you have this clamping point now to go where you need. Now, one thing to note, if you're watching here, obviously this piece is going inside, so you don't want that to be against the flow of air. So your air is flowing towards the Oneida dust collection, so that piece needs to flow with it, or else dust can get caught up in that point. This way, it should not. That's why we got you here, Chief. Is that the right way? No. Is that so hard? Huh? So hard?
Fight him. I'm gonna fight him. We're gonna have a YouTube boxing match, brother versus brother. Bigger than Jake versus Logan Paul if it ever happens. Move out of the way!
Move. Move.
Such a quotable movie.
Or we could do talking head right now, Logan, and speak to the lovely people as to why we are in one of the two Gator Green trucks of Illinois. So, those cables that are used to tie and hold the ducting to the ceiling and make it not rattle or droop are a little too short for how we are applying it. You know, we probably should have looked into that beforehand instead of just going with what they sent and trusting it. But since Logan has 18-foot ceilings and we're only notching it up about 60 inches or so, or 5 foot, it is nowhere near long enough, and we are having to go and buy more of those cables. Sadly, we don't have one with us, so we're gonna have to guesstimate the size. If that's wrong, then we're just gonna figure it out from there like we always have.
Always. We also don't have metal bits to cut said ducting.
Yeah.
We only have to cut, I think, 3. So right now we got to cut one of the 7-inch sections down. That way it holds tight to our loft wall. And then I believe we'll have to cut a couple of the other 6-inch pipes for the drops. But time will tell.
Yeah, wish us luck.
So we're doing our rendition of the Oneida holders. We've had to switch it up because Logan thought the trusses ran the other way and we didn't account for the trusses running this way, which is the way we want to run the ducting, meaning we're not falling out on a truss and the metal is not strong enough to hold it. So we're going to be angling them, making a V, holding it, which should be plenty strong. We have our cable bought. We're making our own loops. The little tool that came with it, or I don't know what it is, that makes the eye loop, still works on this, so let's get it. Neil, what would you like? Who's yelling my name?
What?
When are you guys done?
Never.
Yes, you are. Gonna be done.
Never.
Yes.
I know it's just ductwork, but I really do think this changes the shop. Not just from an efficiency standpoint either, but for us, it's one of those things that reminds us just how far we've come. A few years ago, we were building furniture in a little garage shop, and before that, under a single car carport. And now we're standing in a 3,000 square foot shop, hanging permanent ducting from the ceiling. That's pretty cool when you stop and think about it. The longer we've done this, the more we've realized people aren't just hiring us for the furniture, they're hiring us. They're hiring the experience, the communication, the installation, and whether or not we look like we know what we're doing. And so truly I say, picture this. Picture walking into a shop with cords everywhere, tools broken down, dust piled up in every corner, and no real systems in place. I'd say your first thought is probably, maybe we should have just gone to IKEA. But when you picture walking into a clean shop with machines set up, ducting overhead, and everything having its place, you immediately feel a little more confident. That's the same reason we wear matching shirts, drive matching trucks, and keep trying to improve things around here. Not because we're perfect, far from it in fact, but because we're trying to build something better than what we had yesterday. For most of our time in this shop, we've really only worked on one major project at a time, and not because we wanted to, but because that's what made the most sense for the way things were set up. And now with this, we can start asking different questions. Can we run multiple furniture builds through this shop at once? Or can we keep projects moving without constantly rearranging everything? And truthfully, we don't know yet, but that's part of the reason we're doing this. Now all we have to do is actually get it installed.
It's being a pain. I hate whenever he does this. He thinks he's Patrick Swayze in Ghost. He's not a ghost. I can still feel him. Okay, he asked me not to drop his phone. I'm gonna drop it. Oh, let's watch it. Let's do commentary, guys. Oh, look, it appears he's trying to thread it. Is he getting it?
I think you have to be like right on the edge of that. The only thing
Just that easy, bud. You just gotta put some power into it.
you done the first time, I wouldn't have to jump in.
I don't know about that, Kimasabi.
I do know about it.
At this point, things were going about as smoothly as we could have hoped. The lift was working great, the quick fit pipes was going quick, and honestly, we were starting to feel pretty good about ourselves. Maybe a little too good, because we didn't realize at this time that there was about to be a pretty big lesson we'd have to learn. Now, if you've ever started a project thinking you had it all figured out, only to find yourself tearing things back apart a few hours later, you're probably going to relate and enjoy what's coming up next.
Well, we ran into an oopsies, and by that I think I mean I probably should have just did what the plan said. And so essentially, long story short, I didn't like having it tee off here. It just didn't seem like the run that I wanted. So instead of teeing it here, I ran the pipe this way and put that 22.5-degree pipe here, running things further around this pole. It's caused two problems now. Problem number one is we've had to do this weird staggering of our hangers. And so it's taken a long time to get our lift on this side. Then we got to come back and go on this side. And we got to kind of play a balancing act. And then two, it's also moved our stuff off of our machinery more than what I thought it was going to originally. I thought it was going to make just a great line for us on where we wanted things to fall. And instead, I think it's pushing everything too far away from what we want. And so to get the most use out of our space and our tools, it doesn't make sense to move our tools this way because there would just be wasted space behind it. So it's going to make more sense now to take things down. That way our machinery can stay where it's supposed to stay, and then redo it the way that the plan shows. And hopefully it works out better in the long run, because we're going to have to take it all down. That's why it's called Quick Connect, though.
What an angle. So you see, he right there, he's working. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. But look. Ah, nom nom.
Well, after realizing my mistake, we spent the better part of the evening undoing what we had already done. But fortunately for you, we spared you from having to watch all that. A quick adjustment on paper turned into taking down most of what we already installed, moving everything over, and then putting it right back up again. And not exactly how we planned our day one to go. But now, here we are, putting on the final reducers, blast gates, and machine connections to finally start making it look less like a pile of parts and more like an actual system. And so whenever you spend this kind of money on something, there's always that little voice in the back of your head wondering if it's actually going to be worth it. especially when the old setup technically did work. And so was it annoying? Absolutely, but it did work. Which brings me to my next point. Was $3,800 really worth it? We could have pieced this entire system together from HVAC ducting, gone a different route entirely, or saved quite a bit of money by not using Oneida's quick fit system as a whole. And trust me, we looked at all of it. The problem was we weren't really trying to build a dust collection system for today. We're building one for where we hope the shop is heading. And one of the nice things that we liked about the quick fit system is how easy it is to change. If we decide to move a machine, add a machine, or completely rearrange the shop a few years from now, we're not cutting everything apart and starting over. We can easily make adjustments and just keep moving. That's why off of our main trunk line, we included a Y with a cap on the end of it for future development. And luckily when that day comes, all we're gonna have to do is unsnap a clamp. So is $3,800 for ducting the right choice? Well, only time will tell. But after building the shop, one thing we've learned is that plans change a lot. And if we're gonna continue to grow, we'd rather have a system that can grow with us than one that is locked into exactly what we're doing today. Now comes the fun part, actually putting it to work. Because whether this was a great investment or just an expensive shop decoration is gonna depend on what happens over the next few builds. And luckily for us and you guys, we have plenty of those lined up. Over the next few months, we're planning to do something we've never really done before, and that's have multiple furniture builds moving through the shop at one time. And if this upgrade actually does what we hope it will, that should become a whole lot easier.
Alrighty, do not mind the clutter and everything in the back of the shop. It's a little finicky right now with this whole corner being out of, use. But we have finished up these two drops. We've actually got this one ready to run. It's hooked up and everything. We're gonna test it real soon, so stick around. But first, we do have to tie everything down. That is vertical, that is going up, just because we don't want anything to fall on us and or, break, because once again, we don't know what we're doing it. We don't know if we did it right. So we're gonna square everything up, make it look all nice and clean. That kind of industrial look is how Katie described it. She meant it in a malicious manner. I'm meaning it in a very positive manner. Let's get it.
That's a wrap. All right, that is a wrap on this ducting video. And so looking back, I think there's a few things we can say we learned, maybe some things we would have done differently. Maybe had the Amish put the loft at the right height so we didn't have to cut down our $3,800 machine. Neither here nor there. It's cut down, it worked, it's there. From there, probably wouldn't veer off the plans that you have engineered by a ducting specialist, because that would have saved us a whole day in taking it back down and doing it over again. Next, we have this drop right here. That is the drop that I know we're going to be redoing in the future. As of right now, it still is functional. It still can be efficient. It just can be more efficient in the long run, having that piping up high going above our heads. And so looking back on things, that's that. Now it's time to move forward. What I do know is going forward, it's time to find out if it was worth the money and the time investment.
With that, over these next few weeks and next few builds, we are going to be pushing the shop further than we ever have in the past, meaning we're going to be doing multiple builds at the same time, I believe. And in theory, with this setup, if it does what it's intended to do, it should be relatively smooth and efficient. But if not, be sure to stick around, because I'm sure you'll probably watch another video on us redoing all of it for your enjoyment. Now, until next time, always know, we love you, we appreciate you. You should like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Let's get it.